being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to everything, decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained the power manifestation. Power manifestation is a cognitive shift, command over reality. How what we perceive is what we are living right now, to commanding over what we want. That is a power manifestation. It is a science because millions have experienced it, and we can start manifesting as our own reality. The science of power manifestation. The science of power manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, Vedas, which is pure science, Agamas, applied science, Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Aptas, millions of Aptas, Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nanamas, Alvars, Siddhas, are authority of Hinduism, the Vedic Rishis, scientists who time-tested and verified the science of our manifestation. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of our manifestation, Bhagavan's very own Leelas to showcase how a human can have a superconscious breakthrough and manifest the powers of Paramashiva through the cognitive shift. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of millions of disciple, devotees, followers initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation. Bhagavan clearly says, whoever comes to the Kailash courtyard, I myself will initiate and manifest through them as the conscious sovereignty as their reality. Bhagavan is more present than all of us in Kailash courtyard. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study, measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Again and again, Bhagavan clearly says how just not the thoughtless space, but also the Shaktis are scientifically proven. All these signs have greatest significance, not just in the scientific world, in our world also. How it brings so much of auspiciousness and abundance. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana are the eternal truth. Here, this is Shastra Pramana, scriptural reference for the power of materialization from Spanda Karika, section 3, Vibhuti Spanda 3.4, 3.5. For the power of materialization.
Sahaja Samaji, Bhagavan described. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana, eternal truth,
is taken from the Spanda Karika, section 3 of Vibhuti Spanda, Sutra 3.4 and 3.5. Yatha hi arto sputo drishta savadhanepi chetasi bhuyah sputataro bhati swabaloddyoga bhavitaha tatha yat paramarthena yena yatra yatha stitam tattatha balamakramya nachirat sampravartate.
Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says in this sutra, Spanda Karika, section 3, Vibhuti Spanda 3.4, 3.5. Indeed, just as an object which is spite of all the attentiveness of the mind is perceived and seen indistinctly at first, then appears and manifests distinctly and clearly, which when observed through the strength of the visual power, when you start having the third eye power, simply you start manifesting the higher science, higher reality. Now the science have caught up how the frontal lobe is the prefrontal cortex, which is the responsibility of the consciousness and which changes in our system whatever we are doing. All that we are perceiving in the third eye is the perception how the world is. When we start engaging in the higher reality, the consciousness, the inner space, Bhagavan beautifully says, understanding you are Paramashiva, you are the consciousness, and becoming aware, more and more subtle and aware of that, you will start manifesting the powers. How we became aware of breathing, how we became aware of walking, how we became aware of talking, the words that we listen, and the actions that we take, and the thought currents which we cherish. All that we started understanding when we started perceiving all that in our reality. Bhagavan beautifully says, when you start understanding this higher science, higher reality, you start manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, which is the possibility of you. How beautifully the body is called Pinda. The Pinda is the dead body. When you are cherishing your body so much, even it doesn't give 1 minute of notice before it leaves you. Only you are cherishing this body. The body does not cherish you. It doesn't say, oh, you are my master in this body. It doesn't even bother even to leave you even just a second, even though you live in it for so many years. You take this body for granted, and you have the same body, different bodies in our deep sleep and waking state. Bhagavan beautifully says, if you understand your sleep and deep sleep, you'll understand this reality much deeper. And if you understand how you function, then you understand how the cosmos function, Paramashiva functions. If you decide to surrender everything to the Guru Vak, simply that becomes the reality for you. How Bhagavan beautifully explains in the Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, the greatest science, how these realities can become our own reality. Here Parthi Baba is materializing all the Vibhuti, Kumkum and the gold chains for his devotees. And when Bhagavan asked, how are you doing that? He says, when I see somebody, immediately my hand shakes and it appears in the hand. I know I have to just offer him. There is nothing behind it. It is the manifestation, how it happens, and it just materializes. And simply I offer to them. All that Paramashiva space he is in, that all-powerful space, manifest as reality. All this great science is possible for each one of us. All the Balasans and the IA participants and Paramashivam participants, all of them have experienced the materialization. And it starts with as small dots, and more they start having the gems and pearls and even the diamonds, and also the Rudraksh. And the Rudraksh is so beautiful, it does not having a hole in it. All these materialization is now scientifically measured, how it happens as reality. Bhagavan beautifully speaks in the Atma Pramana how he was in Himalayas where he met a sadhu. In the sadhu there was inhaling the hookah and he was exhaling into the hookah. Simply the coins, the copper coins that he placed becomes gold. Again and again, he saw how the Siddhas materialized all these greatest gold and precious materials. Just by being in that space of oneness, they were able to do the extraordinary powers. And when Britishers came, they said, how could India be so rich? All the Siddhas could just do any alchemy and change the metal into the gold just by the power of will. These great signs again and again thought in us to tell us the possibility that we exist as reality. Here, Shakshi Pramana, you can see how the gold flakes in her hand. There is no question of wetness. You can see clearly a patch of gold appearing in her hand. These great signs are again and again given to us as the reality so that we will get beyond the human possibility as logical thinking to the higher superconscious space, conscious sovereignty as our reality. Here you can say how the scientific validation, when they did a scan of one of the devotee, they said very clearly, suddenly appearance of radio opaque foreign body in the oral cavity without any delay or reposition. The recording of the spiral CT after materialization revealed the presence of the materialized object. In Avatar Shastra, chapter 10, Science of Miracle, page 214. These great signs have always been the possibility of each one of us. And when we are aware of it, we can express all these greater signs. But Bhagavan has given us more and more possibilities when we detox our body to prepare our body for all the materialization to happen. The detox, the herbs that he has said, clearly how we can manifest all the powers of Paramashiva by detoxing our body. The lower three chakras carry only irritation and only bring us to the materialistic world again and again, bring us to the impossibility, the parasites and the bacteria sitting out there, the trillions of bacteria which we have in the body, the ones which are constantly putting us into again and again issue of incompletion, impossibilities, and that is not possible for me. I don't know. These are not something I understand. Those kind of statement, anything which is saying which you cannot expand to the higher consciousness is a parasite sitting in your body. And only through the detox we can understand, make the buddhi very clear. The most beautiful signs how Bhagavan has given these balasans is again and again detoxing them with all these herbs that even when they are affected by corona, they have no symptom except the report says so. Other than that, there is nothing in their body that they have any reaction to all this. That is why he said, the balasans will stay with me for 200 years alive with him. The possibility exists in all of us. Now the science is catching up. If you see the science, the latest science journals, all these are documented and how they are finding out back to the roots to India to figure out all these details. Now let's sit in the beautiful space of oneness with Paramashiva in a deep samadhi space and experience the oneness with Paramashiva. Sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Bring Paramashiva, Parashakti, again and again to your third eye and sit as Devi herself or Sundareshwara with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. Be so alive. The whole thing is we forget to become alive and we lose our conscious sovereignty, not being aware of what is happening inside us. Absolute unclutching. How you have a lockdown. Simply tell your mind, this is a lockdown time. There is no thought required for my life. I am going to be in the space of oneness with Paramashiva. Complete completion. When does complete completion happen? When you have, suppose, a dream where somebody is really angry with you and you're so upset, but when you wake up, you understand it was just a dream. You're so happy and you're so got out of the whole chaos. Same thing Bhagavan Paramashiva says, when you understand this is also a dream what you're perceiving, all the incompletions, all that you are carrying is nothing but your own reflection. It's like fighting with a mirror. There is no other thing other than you which exists as your reality. And if you understand this higher matured cognition, you will start understanding there's nobody to fight with. There is no necessity. And the very nature you are is Paramashiva and only manifests the Paramashiva space which is completely bliss and experience only oneness space. Be in the bhava, continuously chant the Mahavakya from your navel center. And the most important key part is the listening of the Mahavakya. Only when you are listening to your Mahavakya, you get into the extraordinary space, merge into the oneness. We go into the sleep every night. We unclutch from the thoughts and fall into the deep sleep. And we are able to wake up to the different states of consciousness. Same way Bhagavan says, if you fall into the Ananda Gandha, you are in the deep Samadhi. And how can we do that? Chant the Mahavakya, entangle with the oneness capsule continuously, and listen to your chanting where you merge into the oneness. Bhagavan gives example of how somebody falls in love. They are in complete control and they don't live of any of the patterns. Whatever somebody throws in anger or incompletion, nothing affects them. Simply when you are in the love of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and chant the Mahavakya in deep devotion and love and surrender yourself to Bhagavan, you will raise into the superconscious space as Paramashiva and manifest these powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan has given beautiful instruction. And the Kailash Kotya, the minute Bhagavan comes and sits, okay, start materializing. The kids are so happy, joyful to see Bhagavan there. They simply manifest as reality because of the joy and because of the completion and because of such a oneness space they create. So be in the same space and bhava and manifest. You are the Brahmanya Bahuputratam. You are the chosen favorite inheritance of the cosmos. So be very clear, if you are in this session, you are the blessed one. Manifest the powers of Paramashiva, the power of materialization, chanting the Mahavakya deeply from your navel center and deep listening. Let's start the cycle 1.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. If you have experienced the materialization, please go ahead. If you have taken a video or a picture, please go ahead and check your hands. You can have the cell phone light also to check your hands for any gold flakes or any dust of kumkum, vibhuti, jnananjan, which is in black color, or turmeric, sandalwood. All these are the ones which appears as dots between your fingers or on the deities or paduka, whatever you have kept. Be very clear. You clear it before you start the second cycle so that you don't have any doubt. All we are stuck is with all the self-doubt, self-denial, and self-hatred. By manifesting the powers again and again, you start understanding that consciousness for everyone, we start breathing, talking, walking, is all manifestation. We start living in awareness. We are in the superconscious space of oneness with Paramashiva. It is already happening in us. There is nothing that we are doing it or accepting it or denying it. It is the way we function. That is why we are alive. The very nature of us is manifestation. The very nature of how we exist is manifestation of Paramashiva in us. Paramashiva is manifesting our breathing, our food becoming blood, the whole absorption of everything. But in spite of that, we don't understand and we create a chaos with all our mind, which is of no use and which is of completely more and more struggle that we go through. But if we unclutch from that for few minutes, even for few seconds, Bhagavan says, I can manifest all that reality just for you. And he says 21 seconds, we can be even enlightened. That beautiful space. Every breath has a gap. Every breath has a gap between the thoughts where we go into few microseconds of thoughtless space, and without that we cannot go into the next cycle. But we are not aware of that. Again and again we have to get aware. The more the awareness looking for that gap, the gap increases, and that is the vipassana, the whole science. When Bhagavan says you start becoming aware of your conscious sovereignty, you know that you are manifesting the powers of Paramashiva, whoever your Ishtadevata. When you connect to the deity in the deep oneness space and you fall into this thoughtless space, you manifest all the auspiciousness, abundance in your life. And this is a science, and it has been understood, even not just the sannyasi, rishi, muni, but also a grahastha, a village person who is a householder can manifest these great signs if they understand, because it is part of us already happening. The recognition of that part is all conscious sovereignty, living and deciding to live intensely that I am Paramashiva. Paramashiva is manifesting everything in me, and Bhagavan made me understand this great science. I surrender all the thoughts and I'm going to live as Paramashiva. Guruvak is the life. When you understand that Guru can manifest everything in your life, you can simply surrender and you will experience the great oneness. Bhagavan beautifully says one of the Zen stories where one of the Guru, Zen master, he pushed his disciple from the third floor. And when he fell down, he fell down as a beautiful flower rather than a stone. There was no weight in his body, because when he fell, he was very clear. If my master is going to do that, he knows that I am going to be very safe. Having that calm and beautiful thought, he didn't have the weight of the body. he fell down as a flower and walked as an enlightened being. The great story says when the disciple is ready, when Bhagavan happens in all these bhavas, we can simply be enlightened by each one of the darshans and manifest all those. That is why he is preparing us with all these power manifestation again and again to have that deep completion space collectively and collective integrity to manifest all these powers of Paramashiva, manifesting our superconscious space as our reality. The collective integrity is what is required for us to manifest all of us together in the superconscious space of oneness and simply experience the complete bliss, auspiciousness, and abundance. Now we'll have one more cycle. If you're manifested, you can share your completion, your powerful cognition in the social media that you are connected to and completely surrender all your thoughts, all your powerful cognition, everything to Bhagavan's lotus feet. Again and again, when we surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet, simply we start manifesting the higher signs, higher reality. So chant the Mahavakya with the intense listening, and whatever appears, take a picture of that or you can record it. So beautiful. At the end of the session, we can share it. We'll have one more short session. Make sure you have completely tell the mind it's a lockdown. They are not allowed. No gadgets, no thoughts. Mind can put you only into the Turiya state of oneness with Paramashiva. And chant the Mahavakya in the deep love and deep oneness, deep gratitude that Bhagavan is showering you with all this auspiciousness. Raise yourself to receive the beautiful space of oneness from Paramashiva. Let's start experiencing the oneness by chanting the Mahavakya from the navel center with a deep listening.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the power in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Please open your eyes. And whatever Paramashiva has shown and prasada that you have received, please take a picture of that and share it in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. Even the powerful cognition that you received, you can thank Bhagwan and write a few lines on the post and beautifully share it to your families, tag it to your friends and families that you are Paramashiva, you're manifesting all these greater signs. Living as a superconscious being is nothing new in our space. It is the way we exist. We are going to be the superconscious species on planet Earth. And millions have experienced that. And now we are experiencing that. Bhagavan is preparing us for the ultimate space of oneness. Again and again, when the cognition shifts to the higher reality, mature reality, we start manifesting these greater signs in our life. And these signs are just lost if we don't recognize our own self, how much we are blessed with all these auspiciousness and abundance, and preparing ourselves and being ready to receive these is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. So please go ahead, share it in tinyurl.com/power manifestation with your pictures and your comments on such beautiful experience that you had in the satsangs and manifestation sessions. If you see $1, you can contribute to Kailasha. Whatever you contribute, simply it comes back to the highest possibilities. All the temples have the hundi, and it has in all the homas, in all the rituals that we do, we always offer something as our gratitude, even in form of gold or silver we offer, is because all that offering to Kailasha, to the ultimate Paramashiva, we start gaining that as our own abundance and as our own security. Whoever protects the Dharma gets protected by the Dharma. All these are greater signs. Bhagavan says, even if you invest now and all these greater things and you lose your life in next birth, all this will be calculated exactly and more will be added and shipped exactly to where you're born. That is how the science works. So the abundance starts happening when you start contributing. The habit of contributing is a very, very auspicious space. When you understand the higher matured science, how you invest in a stock, you get back. Same way, when you invest in Paramashiva, the higher space, you get back tons of it, protecting you in different forms, not just as a cash, but also in so many places where you get cheated or things are not going fine. You will simply see people returning the money or simply blessing you for whatever you're offering. All that is the Dharma. Everything together forms the Dharma. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. So with that, let's thank Bhagavan for all this greater signs to give us again and again and make us manifest all these greatest powers. We simply sit with a coffee cup or a chocolate cup and experience the oneness. What a great space. So let's thank Bhagavan for the greatest gift, and with a deep gratitude and earning, ask Bhagavan to make Paramashiva as our eternal truth in all of us. And thanking each and every one of you, hundreds of you sitting in all over the world, manifesting the powers, is such an auspicious thing. Thank yourself. Bhagavan says, do Anga Pradakshina, go around yourself and thank yourself for being here, because you understand the higher science and follow Guru Vak with simple integrity and simple obedience. And with a deep gratitude, let's end the session with a Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you after the darshan or satsang.